Good morning everyone, welcome to Our Small Footprint. My name is Nyssa, and if you're new here, we are a family of 8 who live off-grid in Australia. It is Sunday here today. It is quite warm. It's only about 26. It's still fairly early in the morning. It's only about 26, but the sun's pretty harsh already. So on a Sunday, I normally do a bit of a walk around, a chat, a catch up for the week and things like that. It's become a bit of a habit, and I check in with everyone here and get any questions that anyone has for me. So today that's what we're going to do. So first up, I was going to talk about the garden. So we're still having issues with the garden. If you haven't been here before, normally at this time of year, my garden is lush and full, and we're bringing in heaps and heaps of veggies and everything else. I actually might do a little bit of a montage here to show you this time last year and to just try and explain how frustrating and disappointing this season is compared to what I've done in years previous. So I'm going to put a little montage here with some of the stuff that has gone on in previous years so that you can have a look as a comparison. So yeah, that's what I'm comparing to, which is why there's so much frustration. So anyway, so this year so far we have next to nothing. The plants are just being eaten alive by anything and everything. We have a couple of potato beds that are doing okay, but they're dying off really quickly, and I think part of that is the amount of rain that we've had, because we did a Ruth Stout style bed, which is a really dense layer of straw above the plants, and instead of them growing through the straw, they're rotting underneath it because of the rain. So we will see what we get from those. Let me just turn you around and give you a look at all the blank spaces that are there. So if you have a look here, all down the middle of the beds is empty, and it shouldn't be. All the plants are folding over into, like, there's a pathway, just that's a path through the middle, but instead of the plants being nice and high in the beds, they're falling over into the pathway, and the plants are dying off. So what I think has happened is that the massive amounts of heavy rain that we had have really pushed that straw so that it's too dense for the plants to come back up through it, and then we've had the issue that they're rotting and dying off in between. There is some potatoes in here, like I have done some bandicooting in amongst the, just walk through a big spider web, but anyway. And so each week I come in here and I have a look, and there is some potatoes in here, but there's nothing particularly large as yet, and a lot of bug life and things like that. But there is potatoes in here, so regardless of whether we get a whole lot or not, there will be some to harvest. So it'll just be a matter of it not being quite as much as I would like. Last year we had 70 kilos. I'll put a quick photo in here of the harvest from last year. But we didn't do it until late December, so we'll hold off for these for the moment. So while the potatoes are doing okay, they're still not doing as well as what they did last year. So we will have to wait and see what happens there as to whether they recover, or potatoes are one of those really hard crops because you don't know how they're doing until you dig them up. So maybe they're doing fine under there. It's just the above ground stuff that isn't doing so great. I don't know. But we've had a lot of problems with a lot of bugs. So we've had some bush beans come through, and some of them are bushing up okay. I'm going to this afternoon come through and put a whole bunch new seed in here because we're supposed to get rain tomorrow. Now, I was going to plant the tomatoes out with you this morning because I set up a bed to put them in, but then I checked the forecast, and with rain coming tomorrow, the problems with the slaters that we've had is that when it rains, the slaters all come up out of the ground and then eat the seedlings off. So I think I'm probably better off waiting till after the rain. So if I do it Tuesday, put them in the ground and give them a really good dusting of diatomaceous earth, then that might be better. So as much as the tomatoes really need to go in, and I'll show you them in a sec, I think that that's going to be the best bet. I don't think today's the best day, as much as I'd love them to get all the rain, because, you know, that's the thing. You normally plant plants out before the rain because you want them to get the rain, but then we have these inundation of slaters, which causes a problem. So one of the things that is doing well, let me turn you around for a sec. these hollyhocks are just going mad. Look how gorgeous they are. I have never grown hollyhocks before. I think I attempted to in this bed, which is why these have self-seeded this year. And they are just gorgeous. The big stalks of... I haven't had a whole stalk flower at the same time, because I've thought about, well, what if you cut them off and stuck them in a vase? How pretty that would be. But I haven't had a whole stalk flower at the same time. They all seem to flower at different times along the stalk. So, but super pretty. And of course, these are going to self-seed all the way through here, which is, you know, pros and cons to that. But there's a few different colors. There's a beautiful white one here that's falling over, and some pink double ruffle ones, and an apricot one as well. So my plantain is going mad here. And then I've got some comfrey as well, my variegated apple mint that I planted, and some garlic chives, and this evening primrose that is being molested by aphids that I mention each. Nothing I do seems to affect these aphids. So I've ordered some lady beetles, which will be some lady beetle larvae, which will be awesome. This will be the perfect place to release them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this alone until the ladybug larvae come in, and then once I get them, I'm going to release them onto this plant, because this is a perfect food source for them to breed and continue on everywhere else. As I said, the bush beans, the ones that are coming up, are starting to bush out, which is nice. And the pole beans that did survive have got some flowers on them now. So that will be nice. We might get some beans out of these, but some have died as well. This one must have been damaged at the base again, and it's died. And there was one down here that just started dying off too. So it has probably been, yeah, you can see at the bottom there that it's being chewed off at the base of the stem. So there's that, but we do have some flowers and stuff coming up on these ones, so hopefully we get something out of those. Our mystery plant is still going strong. It's not a mystery plant anymore, obviously it's a watermelon, but it's still going strong, and we're just letting it do what it wants to do, since there's nothing else in this bed anyway, other than this silver beet, which we harvest. We do a cut and come again sort of a thing with our silver beet. We always just take the bigger leaves out and let it keep on going. And these couple of turnips that survived are actually bulbing up better than I expected. That one can probably be taken out before it rains, because it'll just split even more, and we can chop that up and roast that up with dinner or something. And then this bed here we just amended, because that's where the tomatoes will go, on that side of this trellis here. So that's the plan for those. The onions are still doing their thing with the seeds. I haven't been able to harvest any seeds from them yet. I'm not entirely sure how far they have to go before I harvest, but nothing's worked so far. So I think they need to dry out a little bit more. They've got these little pods here. I'm not sure. I really need to Google it. I keep on forgetting. Or maybe Bobby, if he's watching this, can let me know how I harvest the seeds from this, or if I've left it too long, or I don't know. And the beetroot bed is doing fine. So the Jerusalem artichokes are starting to take off as well. And that's sort of it in the whole garden, which is a little bit sad. In regards to the seedlings, I did get a new batch of zucchini seedlings going. And so far, I haven't been out here this morning, but so far they're doing fine. But I did have a tray of tomatoes get eaten yesterday and things like that. So let me show you what we do have. So these are the zucchinis that I started, and other than this one here has a leaf chewed off it, the rest have done okay. So I'll come in and water these, and then maybe think about putting them out after this batch of rain. I do have some tomato seedlings that have taken off okay, some tomatoes and some atomic grapes, and then there's some Napolis up here too. I can't see up there if they're still doing okay. Let's have a look. Maybe not, maybe they're eaten off too. I'm gonna have to have a look. But this whole tray here was tomatoes, though there wasn't a great germination rate, but there was a lot of tomatoes in here that have all been consumed as well. So yes, these are the tomatoes that need to go out. They are well and truly ready to go out in the ground, or I need to pot them up, but I was hoping to just get them out in the ground, but they're starting to really struggle, so they need to go out. The tromboncinos are doing well, so that's good. I need to come through and pin them up to the trellis here. Starting to walk through, but they're doing quite well. And a couple of lonely sunflowers. I planted this whole row in sunflowers twice now, and that's all that have managed to survive, but that one's looking lovely and big. We should get a nice flower on that one, hopefully. We got the orange trees, the citrus trees planted out, so we've got Valencia orange, and there's a finger lime there, and then there's a couple other ones scattered along here, and the fruit trees are still doing well, so that's at least one good thing. The apple trees are pushing new growth, and the aphid situation is fairly under control. We are not getting much in the way of damage anymore from those, which is great. Looks like we've even got a little flower here. Not that I'm going to let these fruit this year, of course, but so all the fruit trees are doing well, which is great. Now, the other thing that we did is the old chicken pen that we were going to turn into berry bushes and stuff like that, and never got to the point of doing it. There was a suggestion, I think it was Kirsten who suggested it. Oh, just a sec, let me get through spider webs here. Kirsten who suggested that we let the pigs out in there. This one, it's one of the new orange trees, could do with the water by the looks of it, so I'm going to have to bring a couple of watering cans out for that one. And so what we did was we opened up the pig pen. So they've been very much enjoying it. We have roosters that were in the area as well, so we've got half a dozen roosters, and then the 3 pigs who are coming out here and turning it all for us and keeping the weeds under control. We do need to get the IBC out for the pig pen. Apparently I have a Christmas spider on my shoe, Kavik is telling me. Where? It's all good. So we do need to get the IBC out to be used for the duck pond once we get that sorted. But other than that, yeah, the roosters and the pigs have been having fun. A lot of this stuff was underneath things and we couldn't see it, so we need to get these excess posts out, and there's some roofing iron that's in the middle there too, so we need to get all this out now that the pigs are sorting it out. But the roosters and the pigs are very much enjoying the new space. I don't know where the piggies are. They're lots of sun here at the moment. Oh no, there's one. There's 2 over there. Boss and Hazard are in the corner there. There we go. In there in the shade, having a rest. But yeah, so they've been having fun out here. We just need to get in there and clean up some of the stuff that's been left behind now that we can see it as well. And you got roosters dust bathing in the corner here too. So yeah, this has worked well. The pigs haven't tried to get out. The fencing isn't hugely secure, but at the same time, while the pigs have all the access to all this stuff in here, it's not like they want to get out anyway. So we've made progress there. I know it's not the progress we wanted. Like, I wanted to put all the berry bushes and stuff there, but at least it's opened up and being turned over by the pigs, which means that the weeds aren't going to get even more out of control, and the pigs will enjoy it anyway, so it's good for them. So there is that. We had last week I had eggs starting to hatch. They've all hatched, as you do there was 24 eggs. We got, I want to say 17 hatched out of the 24, which is a pretty good sort of a number. And then we lost 3 of the ones that hatched, though, that were late hatches that had a few issues. So I think we got 14 chicks out of that batch that are now a few days old, and then we've still got the ones in the tractor at the back because we haven't got that new pen sorted yet for them, and all the rest of them are the same as last week. So I won't take you out the back there because nothing has changed. I'll do a little bit of footage of the brand new couple of day old chicks because they're always nice to look at. But other than that, that is sort of the update of the garden and stuff that's been going on here. And I got lots to get done today with the hamper that arrived yesterday and the planning for the grocery trip for this week. So I will leave it there, just a quick check-in today, and I will see you again probably tomorrow or the next day. Thanks, guys.